evening, everybody, and welcome back to another fun week here in the basement show with Mr. Knast. I am Mr. Knast. Joining us tonight is Mr.
Ron. How you doing, everybody?
Good evening, Curtis Odie in chat. Good evening, Curtis. Nice to see you.
Hey, Curtis.
Happy belated Canada Day. Happy belated anniversary. I hope you had a fun-filled weekend with the family. And thanks for joining us tonight. So, wow, Gary's
Hey,
in bright
Gary.
and early too.
Nice.
Good evening. Wow, it must be a holiday or something. Gary must not be working.
Yeah.
But good evening, Gary. Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. Let's dive right into it.
Yep.
The inconsistent Phillies at best are at it again.
Ugh. Yeah, I got to tell you. Given they're still 6-4 in their last 10, they are still 5 games over 500. But when you rattle off a 19 burger and follow it up with a disappointing loss, losing 2 out of 3 to the Nationals, who are in last place.
Mm-hmm.
Not exactly the way that I would have liked to have seen the weekend go, especially with Tampa Bay and the Marlins on the deck for this week before the All-Star break.
And on the road too, which we never played good in South Florida.
Yeah, our road record's pretty good this year. I'm sorry, we're still around 500 on the road, I think.
I would have to double check.
Yeah.
I think you're right, though.
Yeah, I think it's like 20, 22 and 23 or 23 and 22, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I was joking with, because I was playing video games a little bit Saturday night with Morgan's husband, Kevin, and we were joking Saturday because we went over to Philly, and we're like, we should get Phillies tickets for tonight. It would be fun to go to a game. Well, we didn't go. They put up the 19 runs. We're like, damn, what a game. And me and Kevin were like, yeah, now watch them all just score 1 run. I was like, yeah, better yet, they'll get no hit. They didn't do neither of those, but a very disappointing, supposedly defensively appearance on Sunday.
Yeah, it's we got to count down the days until we can get Harper over to first base and get Schwarbs out of left field. It's got to happen.
Yeah, because I heard that Schwarbs and Marsh made blunders in the outfield on routine fly balls. I don't know how true it is because I didn't get to see the game. I was busy Sunday, but
yeah. I heard the same. I was kind of tied up myself, but I caught some of the game on radio. So really, and then going back and watching some of the highlights, if you want to call them highlights.
Yeah, as we call them.
Right. But as of today, still only a game and a half out of the wild card.
True.
So, is it that horrible? No. Would you like to see it go differently this past weekend? Yes.
How did the tour guiding go? Considering we were in Center City on the 4th of July weekend, Curtis, it was an extremely busy city. We did get to do the American Revolution Museum, but the city as itself was busy, and we waited 45 minutes for cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
At Angelo's.
Where did you go for? Oh, Angelo's?
Yeah.
Okay. That was going to be my question.
And what a mob scene.
Yeah. Well, with all the tourists in town for the Welcome America thing, those spots are going hot and heavy.
Yeah. You got to have faith. I don't know hope, but you got to have faith. It's still early. I will give them the benefit of the doubt for now, but we'll see.
They're in a better position than they were in last year at this time.
That is very true.
As far as proximity to the playoffs, but when you see the Braves go 9-1 in their last 10, and they're 27 games over 500.
True.
you got to start thinking about the wild card. You really can't even consider trying to catch up with the Braves unless they totally fall apart.
Yeah.
29 games over 500.
Yeah, I mean the Braves are on fire. I mean the record speaks for itself. They're 56-27.
Yeah.
They got a 9-game lead this early in the season. That's gonna be hard to make up.
And I think they have um their whole infield is on the All-Star team.
Yeah, not as good as the Texas Rangers though, who got 4 starters named to the All-Star team, and I think the entire infield was named starters. That's impressive.
Well, so did the Braves. The Braves have 4.
But are they starters?
Yes.
Oh wow,
They
okay.
haven't named the reserves yet.
They named them yesterday, I thought.
Oh yeah, they did because Castellanos got it.
Yeah,
That's
I will
right.
pull those up in a minute.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
Bill, you were right about the Phillies being 22-23 on the road.
Yeah,
They're 22-16 at home.
right.
But now this is the thing I don't like to see. Against 500 teams or less, they're 19-27. Those are the games you need to win. You see how the Braves are 26-16.
Yeah.
What's up, Trey? Nice to see you. Thanks for popping in tonight.
Hey Trey. Hey Jack.
Jack's having a 70s party without us.
Uh
Let's see. 2003 MLB All Stars. Let's see if I can pull the list. Here, complete rosters. So, let me see if I can get rid of this video. I want to get the strike, but I'm not worried about it. That's not what I'm looking for. Just find a different list. Rosters. There you go. Okay. See if I can share this one instead. So over in the American League, you got Jonah Heim, Andy Diaz for the Rays, Marcus Seaman, for the Rangers, Josh Jung, Corey Seager, Aaron Judge will be replaced though, Mike Trout, Randy Ozano, Ozarina. I don't know how to spell his last name. And Shohei Ohtani will be DH/pitcher. He was named as both. And then on the National League side, your starters. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
They kind of have to do that right now based on I got some information on Ohtani's season so far. Okay, well, I mean, he's got a 7-3 record. So far this year, his ERA is right around 3. He has 127 strikeouts, which is third in the American League. He's got 31 homers before the All-Star break. So he's on a clip for over 60, which is first in the American League. He's got 68 RBIs, which is second in the American League. And he is tied for first with 5 triples.
Wow.
So he's pretty decent.
Yeah, just a smidge.
Yeah. When he cashes that $600 million contract wherever he lands, that should be interesting.
That's the biggest question still, and it's still going to be the biggest question is where does he end up?
Dodgers.
You think the Dodgers?
Yep.
You don't think the Yankees or somebody try to swing him away?
I don't think the Yankees are gonna go that high.
Okay. I guess we shall wait and see. So.
I mean, they'll be in the bid for it. I mean, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Dodgers. But I mean, the Dodgers will probably spend the money.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I mean, they got to do something because as good as the Dodgers can be, I think they can be that much better.
Yeah. And if you add Ohtani to any team, you automatically become better.
That is very true. That's why it's here to see where he does wind up.
Yep. And the other Phillies news for the week is everybody's golden boy, Cody Clemens, gets shipped out to Lehigh Valley when they activate Derek Hall yesterday.
Oh, come on. I like Cody.
So Cody is now an Iron Pig once again.
That sucks.
Because Derek Hall hits homers and Cody has 4.
If that's what we're going with, I guess you're right. I mean,
as power hungry as this team is right now, they have to have Hall back.
Yeah.
Even if it's off the bench.
Okay, you win. I'm not gonna.
It's not a matter of winning and losing, man. It's just we're the only person hitting home runs is Schwarbs.
Yeah, who's batting 189.
Exactly. So, you got to do something.
Yeah, Gary has a question in chat that we can laugh about. What about the New York Mets?
Mets are yeah. The Mets are toast. I mean, it's becoming more and more obvious that they're just as an organization, they're just a joke anymore. I mean, no matter how much money they throw, they just can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing horrible, horrible baseball.
38-46.
Yeah.
They keep losing. Washington might overtop them, so you never know.
Yeah. I mean, if they spend all that payroll this year and end up last in the division,
oh Lord.
I think the GM better start job hunting.
Yeah, Stephen Cohen. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he's. If they finish in last, I think Cohen's toast.
We'll see. Gary says they beat the Phillies too many times lately. Everyone's beating the Phillies. That's why I mean when they're losing games that they should be winning. I mean, yesterday all it was 2 home runs basically. You had a grand slam and then another solo shot. So, but
wait, the last series they won 2 out of 3 from the Mets, didn't they?
I think so. I can look.
Yeah, they won the last series against the Mets.
And I don't know what Gary's talking about. Gary's trying to mess with us.
Yeah.
Let's see. With my result sort of schedule. I'm just trying to see if this has scores on it. So, they won 2-1 versus the Mets last week.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought.
5-1, lost 2-4, then 1-7-6.
Right.
Gary, what are you talking about, my guy?
Well, he's one of those that's going to say, yeah, but they should have lost that 7-6 game because, they walked in the runs.
I can see what he's saying about them losing the last series in May. They got swept by the Mets. I can give them that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So they're still behind in the season series.
What's that? 2-4?
2-4.
I mean, I will give them a benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But when the last series they played them, they won. So if you don't want to go too far back in the season, they won the last 2 or the last 3 versus the Mets.
Right.
But
so we're going with that.
We're going. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just going to ignore him.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Guns.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the National League stories, you have Sean Murphy, Freddie Freeman, Luis Orez, Nolan Alvarado, Orlando Ussie, Acuna Jr., Mookie Betts, Corbin Carroll, and JT Martinez.
Yep. Who beat out Bryce Harper for DH.
Wow. I kind of feel bad for Rob Thompson. That's a lot of Atlanta starters. You have a Marlins starter and a Dodgers starter.
Yep.
I think the only one he has going to hang out with him is going to be Castellanos. They're going to be best friends.
Yeah. Unless Schwarber's going in the home run derby.
That is possible. My question was the All-Star game, okay? I know the opposing well, the teams that make the World Series are the coaching staff. I get that.
Correct.
Is it just the head coach or the whole coaching staff?
The manager gets to pick his staff.
Okay.
So a lot of times they'll bring people from their own staff, but out of respect, they usually bring some other managers from teams that were in the playoffs last year.
Gotcha. Because I think it was 93, because I always go back and watch the clip of Randy Johnson versus John Cook at Camden Yards. And you just see like Tommy Lasorda and all them people in the dugout laughing at it.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the funniest moments in All-Star history. So I didn't know how the coaching staff would per se.
Yeah, it's up to the manager that's in charge to pick his staff.
Gotcha. And then reserves, there's Castellanos. At least we have one. I will give him that.
Well, yeah, they have to have one.
But like none of our pictures, even relief pictures, made it.
No.
Wow.
You could have made a case for like Kimbrel.
Kimbrel,
but there's other closers that are doing better.
I thought they would maybe have a chance of getting Alvarado in there, but with his injury this year, I think that's probably what kept him out.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I would say.
But I just we need, like, I know All-Star game means nothing really, but in MLB it means home field advantage for the World Series.
Right.
The only time of the year I'll actually say I hope the National League wins. As we don't really root for the teams in our division or league, but the AL has dominated the All-Star game, it feels, as of late.
Yes, absolutely.
So National League needs to bring it back home for once.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I mean, we'll see what happens. The game is next Tuesday, and the derby is on Monday night. Right. And it's in a very tough Seattle ballpark, too. I mean, Safeco, yes. Well, T-Mobile Field, or Safeco, whatever it's called, is very difficult to hit out of sometimes.
Right.
So we will see what happens with that. I'm seeing if I can find a list of home run participants.
I got it right here.
There you go. Take it away.
Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
Vlad Jr. from Toronto. Mookie Betts from the Dodgers. Randy Arozarena from Tampa Bay.
Okay.
Pete Alonso from the Mets. And Adley Rutschman from Baltimore.
Okay. I mean, a decent one. I mean, obviously you got to give the home field advantage to Julio Rodriguez being from Seattle.
Right.
But I know Pete Alonso has come out publicly and said that he's out for blood this year.
Yeah. And you can never discount Vlad Jr. either.
That is very true. I mean, I don't know. Like, the new format is different. I kind of wish they would revert back to the old way, but they never will, because you saw monster astronomical numbers in that time period, so you probably won't see that type of stuff ever again, like the Josh Hamilton 32 home run round in Yankee Stadium 1 year.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of deterred it away from that.
Yep.
So, I mean...
Well, that and the curse. The curse. Home run derby curse.
Oh, that one, yes.
That somebody's on a tear, they go in the home run derby, and then they fall apart in the back half of the season.
Yeah,
that's the Bobby Abreu rule.
I was gonna say Bobby Abreu is the one that started that.
Yep.
And then the next year we had Ryan Howard in there. Because a couple of Phillies have won in the last 20 years. I know that.
Right.
But then, like you said, they come out flat-footed the second half of the season. It's like, okay, was it very worth it?
Because it throws their timing off so much.
Well, because A, you're throwing a shorter distance, so the ball's coming in faster. Mm-hmm. And B, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think what B would be. I mean...
Well, it's like taking, 2 hours of batting practice.
True. Okay.
And you're trying to lift everything, so you're over swinging. You got your launch angle if you're not traditionally, up there trying to hit a home run every time, then it messes up your swing.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah. I think the biggest thing is the timing of it. Because, like I
Yeah,
said, instead of a full picture, like coming from a full size picture mound, like moved up to the front of the mount.
right.
So, I mean, yeah. It's still fun to watch, don't get me wrong, but it's not like it used
Yeah,
to
it's not like it used to be. Well, unless you had Chris Berman going back, 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 back.
be. Well, I mean, with ESPN lately, you don't know who's on there anymore.
No, because nobody's left. They fired everybody.
Which is really, which is very bizarre.
Nah, not really. Everybody knew it was coming.
That is true.
They pretty much announced, Disney announced there was going to be a bunch of layoffs.
Yeah,
And you knew that some of the lesser used guys and some of the big ticket guys were going to be the ones to go.
that is true.
But it was a shock to see Susie Cobra go, though.
Yeah, Susie Colbert. I think New Everett just got laid off recently. A bunch of the NFL players who came on board.
Keyshawn Johnson.
Goodbye.
You got I'm thinking of some of the players that got ditched. There were a few.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So this year's in T-Mobile. We said Seattle. Next year's
Yeah.
at Global Life Field in Arlington. 2025 hasn't been announced yet. And then 2026, 30. No, wait. No, wait. Yeah, 30 years since the last time it was Philly. It comes back to Philly.
Okay.
And I'm kind of tempted. I know it's going to be bizarre, but I kind of want to go over for the home run derby if I could.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with how Citizens Bank's laid out, I think you might see some of these power hitters come in and actually hit one out of the stadium.
Yeah.
Especially if they can get it to deep center field. Ashburn Alley.
Yep.
But that place is going to be a mob scene.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, it's good for the city, though. Don't get me wrong. A lot of good major sporting events that are coming to Philly. It helps, but is that Diamond?
Yeah, you got WrestleMania coming this coming year.
Yeah, next year. I mean, a big one too. WrestleMania 40.
Yep.
I mean, it hasn't been in Philly since WrestleMania 15, and we all saw what happened that one. So,
yeah,
we shall see.
Then you had two of the early ones in Atlantic City.
WrestleMania. I always mess this up. 2 and 3, right?
2 and 3, I think it was. Yeah,
I think so. I can double check real quick, but I think you're right about that.
Yeah.
Former WWE WrestleMania. We can also talk about Money in the Bank in a little bit as well, if you would like. Because I heard.
Yeah, I was sadly correct.
Sadly is a good way to put it. I mean,
yes.
I was shocked about the women's, but like I said, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
1990s. Let's see. Why is this? I bet. Here we go. So WrestleMania is 4 and 5 were actually in Atlantic City.
4 and 5. Okay.
So 88 and 89.
Right.
At the historical Atlantic City Convention Hall, aka Boardwalk Hall, aka
whatever you want to call it. It's still Boardwalk Hall now.
Yeah, and like I said, WrestleMania 15 was in Philly. But then WrestleManias 29 and 35 were up in the swamp of East Rutherford, New Jersey. So
yes, in the swamp.
I mean, I've been to MetLife Stadium. It's not the best stadium. It's not the worst. I will give them that.
I was there once.
Traffic sucks, though.
Yeah. Well, we were in a limo, so.
Well, lucky you. I was up there for the Eagles-Jets game and it took 2 hours to get out of the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, I actually had a limo. I didn't book it. I didn't pay for it, but there was a limo involved.
Well, again, like I said, lucky you, because I got stuck in traffic.
Yeah. Not so much lucky us, because we had to walk under the tunnel in full Eagles gear.
Ew.
So there were 6 of us, so we were safe, but we it was a little shaky.
I could imagine so.
Yeah.
I would be a little scared. I mean, luckily
And it
when
was
I
much
went,
scarier. It was much scarier because it was a win and not a loss. If it had been a loss, it might not have been as bad.
yeah.
But we happened to beat them that particular day.
Now, is this recently or
No, this
going
is
back?
going back. This is going back a ways. Probably
Tell me,
20,
tell
15
me.
years, maybe.
Okay, 15 years. So that's still a little before I was hoping for.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were going to say 1991-92 for one specific reason:
Okay.
the Richie Kotite area.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the worst coaches ever in our history, but
Yeah, you'd have to put him right up there. The guy who couldn't call a play because his play sheet got wet.
I mean, I talked to a lot of people who hated that era.
Yeah, it was a rough time. I mean, you go from Marion Campbell to you know to Kotite, in there, and then it got good for a little bit, and then you had the back end of Ray Rhodes, which was horrible,
Yep.
and then
Andy,
Buddy,
buddy, yeah. I mean,
and you
we can't.
had Buddy will always be loved in this city no matter what.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, no matter what happened, if you talk to real fans, they will always say that they were a Buddy guy.
Yeah. I mean, he was an arrogant son of a bitch at times, but
Yeah,
he knew how to coach. I give him that.
yeah, and the players will run through a wall for him,
Yeah.
especially through that strike season,
1987.
something like that.
I think it was. I knew. I mean,
Yeah,
back when Johnny was a little wee baby, so he had to do a lot of history reading to know
there you
all
go.
about all that stuff.
There you go.
But you said you had something that you want to do on the Sixers. Do you want to do that now? Or you want to wait?
Well, no, I'm going to wait for that for later, which we usually wait so that we can talk about the Sixers.
Okay.
And then that'll kind of lead into something I need to get off my chest tonight.
All right. Well, the one thing I saw the Sixers do over the weekend, which is baffling in my opinion. I mean, some people like it, some people don't. Patrick Beverly,
Yeah.
head case, defensive, a good defender. I don't see how he fits.
Well, you gotta figure too. You just lost Bang Bang Yang,
Bang bang
so
yang.
yeah, George Yang
Yep. Shake
signed a
Milton.
free agent deal with Cleveland, I think,
Yep. He got a 3-year, $26 million deal.
which is outrageous amount of money for him. But I mean, he could shoot the three.
Yeah.
That's what he's good at. So,
Then you also lost Shake Milton, though.
yeah, I wasn't so upset about that. I kind of don't have a problem with that part at all. But it's going to take time for this to take shape. With Harden opting in, only to be requesting a trade. It depends on what they get offered. I mean, if necessary, I hate to say it, I really do, because I think it's going to be a disaster. If they have to keep him till the trade deadline, it's going to be a disaster. He's not going to play. He's not going to hustle. He's not going to take a chance on getting hurt and losing that contract. No freaking way. So all of a sudden his hamstring's sore, and then he's not playing.
No, you make a real good point.
That's James Harden for you.
True.
So, yeah, I mean, it was 50-50 on what was going to happen. A lot of people assumed that he was going to opt out, but there's no market for him. I mean, the offers weren't pouring in for his services. There were a couple teams that made sense, but they're going to, you know, everybody's kind of in this stalemate right now. The Sixers and any team that would be interested in them, like the Clippers, especially.
True. I mean, my biggest question, okay, because the Clippers have said that they're interested, okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Then you have another superstar, say about 400 or 500 miles away, and a Dame Lillard, who has now requested a trade out of Portland. Do you think there is a way that you could swing a three-team deal that sends Harden to the Clippers and then Lillard to Philly?
No, I don't. Because Lillard pretty much has gone out and said that the only place he wants to play is Miami.
But I read an article today that Miami's not cooperating with Portland on giving them what they want.
Right. But I just don't. If you were to try and land Lillard, it was going to cost you Maxey.
Yeah, which I'm not doing. I'm sorry.
I'm not giving Maxey away. There's no way. He's under team control. I mean, he's 24 years old.
Yep.
Lillard's 34.
Yeah. I mean that,
and you really match their stats side by side. They're not that heck of a lot different. And you got to understand that he has Embiid and Harden in front of him,
mm-hmm.
and he's putting up the numbers he's putting up in his second year. This will be his third year coming up.
True.
So, I'm not giving up Maxey for anybody for anything.
The only thing that scares me is that they came out and publicly said they're not planning on extending his contract at this time.
Who, Maxey?
Yes.
Yeah, they're not. Because they don't have to. Because they know they're not going to trade him. And they got him on a lot smaller deal right now, which once Harden's off the books and Tobias Harris is off the books at the end of next year, if not sooner.
True.
Then all of a sudden you got $50 million in cap space.
Yeah, if not more.
At least 50. So that's more than enough to pay Maxey plus attract another top free agent to come in and play alongside Embiid.
Yeah, I mean at that point you need to address the weight.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have Maxey as your point guard, you still have D'Anthony Melton as your shooting guard, but now you're losing George Yang, who's a bench player. You don't know what the future holds with PJ Tucker. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts still with this team that you got to figure out what to do with it.
I think Tucker's going to stay. I don't think he wants to be moving around anymore. I think he's going to finish. When he finishes, he'll finish here, I think. I think he's in a comfortable situation for him for what they're asking him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going to be super, super expensive. So they're not going to move, on from him.
Okay. I mean, I know he signed that, 3 years, $33 million deal. So what's he got?
Yeah.
$10.5 million? That's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's not bad for what he does.
Yeah. Compared to what some of these people are getting paid.
And I mean, like I said, the big thing is getting Harris and Harden off the books.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that before the start of the season. I think it's a win.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know that there's much of a market for Tobias. So
crumble cookie.
You may, crumble cookie. Yeah. You may end up stuck with him for another year, but then he is an expiring contract, which would be attractive at the trade deadline. So if not in the beginning of the season before training camp, then there's a real good shot that at the trade deadline, he could be part of a trade because he's got an expiring contract. So somebody could just, make him go away fast.
True. But then,
just to match salaries.
Yeah, but you also got to keep in mind too. You do something like that, you trading him at the trade deadline. Do you trade him to a contender or a pretender? I mean, what? Because obviously a contending team could use someone like Tobias, but do you really want to hurt your chances of making the playoffs to help somebody else?
I don't think Tobias Harris is that much of a threat. Honestly, I mean, he's not consistent enough. I mean, maybe you put him on a different roster with a different makeup. Yeah, maybe he puts up a few more points. But I mean, he's not a generational kind of talent. He's not that guy that's going to come into a team and automatically transform it. I mean, he's a role player basically.
Yeah, I would agree.
On any other team in the league, he's a role player.
Yeah, not like his days in the Clippers when we brought him over here and we were thinking we were getting a hot stud when he averaged 20 and 10.
Yeah. And then you hand him a max deal, and then he, does what people usually do when they get max deal.
Yeah, but then they leave Philly and rejuvenate their career. We've seen that happen too.
Well, Harden just needs to be closer to Vegas so he can save on airfare.
Yeah, and there's no state tax in Vegas neither, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, especially with a new coaching staff in here, some missing pieces that you've let go of this offseason or lost. I mean, I don't know how well this Delaware Blue Coats team is, but you might see some of those players moving up. Who knows?
Well, Summer League starts tonight, actually.
It does, you're right.
Yeah, Sixers Summer League starts tonight. There's really only one recognizable name, and I forget what the name was, but there was one guy who's actually a third-year player who volunteered to go to Summer League because the team asked him to.
Isn't Maxey playing in Summer League?
No, he is not.
Oh, I thought he was going to suit up this year. It might be Springer.
It might have been Springer.
Let's see if I can find a roster real quick.
Yeah, it very well could have been Springer.
This is his make or break season. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's why the team asked him to go and work on his game in the summer.
Let's see. So the Summer League roster, we have Charles Bassey, Tyler Bay, Charlie Brown Jr., Julio.
Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown Jr., yep. Julio, Champagne. Malik Ellis, Michael J. Foster Jr., Isaiah Joe. This could be good for him.
Yeah.
Amanu Muhammad. I'm not going to pronounce his last name. Miles Powell. Paul Reed's out there.
Okay.
Jared Springer, Justin Smith, Fred Sims Jr. I mean, so they got some people from the regular roster out there.
Right.
Because this is another big year for Paul Reed as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you might see him increase his minutes now.
It's possible.
So.
And then you got to assume that our slam dunk guy is going to make the roster next year.
Max
what's his
Mac McGlung. There you go.
Yes, Mac. Yeah.
Let's see. They have a score update. Some league scores.
I think they're on the West Coast, so.
Yeah, they're out in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
The game started at 7 p.m. Eastern time. They were playing the Grizzlies tonight.
Okay.
And they played the Thunder. Well, Jazz tomorrow night, and then Thunder.
Okay.
Wow, there's only 6 teams playing this year?
Yep.
Wow, that's getting smaller and smaller by the year.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Before, it used to be a whole lot more teams.
Yeah, it's true.
So
as long as we're talking basketball, I think I need to need to do my venting.
Okay, it's all yours. Let me just cue this up.
Okay.
Ready?
Right.
Here we go.
Hey, sometimes I just need to get it out. What I need to get out today is sports talk radio is driving me insane. Okay. I'm in the car a lot. I listen to a lot of sports talk radio, and I hear the same guys every single day with the same take every single day, and the host with the same take every single day. Okay. Well, that's okay. I can take that. That's fine. But here's what I can't take. Ever since the finals ended, every single day, all you hear is anybody but Harden. Harden's got to go. Harden's got to get out of here. We got to get rid of Harden. Get him out of town. Okay. So everybody goes in their rant and they talk about getting Harden out of town. And I don't care what you get for him. Just get him out of here. Good riddance. I'll drive him. Whatever. Okay. And then he opts in and then requests a trade. So for all practical purposes, there's a 90% chance that by the time you get to at least to the trade deadline, maybe even before the season starts, Harden's gone. And then for 3 straight days, I got to listen to, oh my God, how could they get rid of Harden? How could they get rid of this guy? What are they going to do? That's blah, 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 blah. We're going to suck. We're going to this, we're going to that. And I'm like, what? 2 days ago, the same people were saying anybody but him, get him out of here. I can't take it. I can't take I'm going back to listening to 98.1 or whatever, 101 or whatever I got to listen to, just to calm my nerves, because I can't take these people anymore. They're driving me nuts. Make up your mind. And that's what I got to say about that. Testing out.
My bad. I thought you were finished.
That's okay.
My fault.
I was just saying I was done. You didn't miss anything.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I mean, welcome to Philadelphia sports media. That's all I can say.
I know. I've been listening to it for so many years. It really shouldn't faze me, but it does. Sometimes. I just can't take it, especially when it's the same people every single day.
Yeah, well, at least it's not Angelo Cataldi anymore.
Well, I didn't have a problem with Angelo. I actually liked Angelo. He was annoying in a funny way, and I got to meet him a couple times. So
I met him once or twice.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, he was around for what, 30 years?
Yeah. Me and my parents we went to a show a couple times at the Hop Dog, now Bavaria nightclub, whatever it is, on Route 70.
Okay.
So the one time we did go, we were like basically right up on the railing at the table, right next to you watch the show front row.
Yeah.
So after the show, he came over, was talking with everybody, signed a couple autographs, and I also got autographs from Brian Mitchell and Sean Landetta.
Nice.
So you can see how long ago that was.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if you watch the show live, you would always see me and my parents sitting like basically right there. 30 minutes of fame, because every time the one camera angle would pan out, you'd see us right there.
Nice.
I wish I had a video of it. It'd be pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
Makes me feel old.
Yeah, you're old.
Well, please. Okay. I'm sorry. My younger days.
Okay, that's better.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with the Sixers. I mean, a whole new coaching staff, a new culture with Nick Nurse coming in. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
They gotta do something.
Should be interesting. Yeah, they do.
I 100% agree. Let's see. Pop this on real quick. I'm gonna load up on my other monitor. I'm gonna see if I can find some WWE results so we can dive into Money in the Bank. Supposedly it was quite an interesting show. Let's see. 2023 WWE Money in the Bank. Here we go. Review. I need results. I don't care. Feature report. Alright, here we go. I'll use CBS Sportsline for this.
Okay.
Alright, so the first match they have up on here is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Ricochet, Shinsuke, and LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul.
And let me tell you something about Logan Paul. I don't want to hear anybody who says that Logan Paul shouldn't be here. A couple of the spots that Logan Paul did, there's been guys that have been there for years that can't do what he can do.
Yeah.
So, he's earned his spot. I mean, he may be annoying, but gosh darn, man, the man can work.
Yeah.
And everybody in the back respects him because he put in the time. He wasn't one of these celebrity guys that just showed up, learned a couple moves, and that was the end of it. I mean, he literally put months and months of training in to do what he does.
He worked with Miz for a while. I know that.
Yes, he worked with Miz. He worked with Mysterio, and he worked with somebody else.
Oh, who was that other person? I know he worked with a bunch.
Yeah,
I forget who it was.
I thought it was either Road Dogg or it was Fit Finley.
It might have been Fit Finley, I think.
Yeah, and Fit Finley normally works with the women, but he actually did some work with Logan Paul, I think.
Yeah, and I saw this. This looked like it hurt. I don't know if you saw this.
It had to hurt. This had to hurt because he missed the table.
Yeah, and went head first into it.
The back of his neck hit the table.
Yeah, I mean, that's a scary spot. I mean, I'm happy nobody was hurt.
Yeah,
but that's the type of stuff that scares you. Is with these people. Like, don't get me wrong, Logan Paul has done phenomenal, but you have a scary box like that. It makes you wonder: is it him being unsafe? Is it just a freak accident that happened, or what?
I think it was just an unsafe spot. I mean, honestly, it was just when you're coming off the middle of the ropes and there's something else leaning on the ropes, you've got to factor that in. When you practice it, there wasn't a ladder on the rope. True. So the amount of elevation you get is different because it didn't spring up as much as it did when you practiced it in an empty ring.
Okay, I can see your point.
So there's variables. Whenever there's a variable, then there's always an element of risk.
True. I mean, I will say one thing that makes you laugh a little bit. I'm happy that this stuff is back in an arena where it belongs. Because the one year they tried to do it at WWE headquarters, it was a freaking disaster.
Yeah.
They were throwing people off the roof, and then they pan off the roof, and you see the person laying on a mat. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, that was during the pandemic, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
I mean, but you just take away the whole element. Oh, we're gonna throw people off the roof, and then you're gonna pan away, and there's the person laying on the mat. Like, way to ruin your spot.
Yep.
But like you had said earlier, you were right. Damian Priest is your Mr. Money in the Bank.
Right. And they teased LA Knight, and the crowd went crazy. He was on the top of the ladder with the briefcase in his hand when Priest chokeslammed him. Priest had gotten knocked out of the ring, and pretty much he didn't account for him. So just as he was about to unhook the briefcase, Priest's hand goes up around his neck, and then he chokeslams him off the top of the ladder.
I mean, I'm going to come back to that because I have a question regarding this now.
Okay.
So then the next one they have on here, you have Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defending their championship versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Right.
Which, I don't know if you heard about this or not.
Yeah, Shayna turns on Ronda.
Mid-match.
Yep.
Not even after match. Mid-match. I mean,
Yeah.
they mean.
So,
Then obviously you got Liv and Raquel be able to win that. But, like, the thing that surprises me, I read an article after this. I didn't get to see much, any of the highlights or anything. Ronda's leaving WWE apparently again.
yes.
They don't know if it's for good or just another long hiatus.
Yep.
So, with that being said, Ronda's approach to creative about setting up a one-on-one feud with Shayna Baszler.
Right.
Question now is, can those two do a good one-on-one feud, or is it going to be a disaster?
I don't know if one could carry the other in that match. I mean, Shayna has certain moves that she does, and Ronda has certain moves that she does. But I think to translate that into a full match would be difficult at best for them to put on a decent match. But you know, when you're talking about two submission specialists, that translates into a boring match.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you make it the stipulations that they used to do back in the day, which are the submission match.
Yeah.
You must make your opponent to tap out to win this match. I mean,
Yeah.
so you get the more technical wrestling, sure, but with these two, I'm hipping and hawing about it.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could see happening is maybe a short program, maybe through SummerSlam. You have them face off at SummerSlam, and then maybe do a WrestleMania match. And during the WrestleMania match, Shayna breaks her arm or breaks her leg and breaks Ronda's leg or breaks Ronda's arm storyline, and then Ronda disappears.
I think you just might see that after SummerSlam. Honestly, I think that it'll be a one match and done type of deal.
It depends. Depends on if they think they can build it fast enough to do it for SummerSlam.
Yeah, because SummerSlam's about a month away. You're right. So
neither one is much of a mic worker.
that is very true. Yeah, I will 100% agree with you on that. And
Yeah.
what's even worse is they're making Shayna look like the heel and Ronda face.
Yeah.
And Ronda hates being face.
And she's better face than she was heel. I think she was. Anyway, I mean, I just didn't. Heel Ronda just seemed like it was being forced.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand why they wanted her to be a heel, but yeah, at times it was hard to believe.
True. And then, like, the one year that Shayna won the Elimination Chamber, I was in that at that event in Philly, and the crowd absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
So I could see why they made Shayna the heel in this situation, because the crowd absolutely hates her as it is.
And I think they're becoming indifferent to Ronda. I think that's part of why Ronda's leaving. She doesn't get the kind of pop she used to get.
Yeah, well, you don't do much anymore.
No.
So,
Nope.
I mean, we'll see. And then the next match, you have Gunther versus Matt Riddle for the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, I didn't have to watch this match, and I knew that they were going to keep the belt on Gunther. Gunther is a dominant force right now in this company that if you let someone like Matt Riddle beat him, it takes everything away from him.
He's probably the top heel in the company right now, or one of the top two.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
And he's a born natural champion. I mean, his personality, his ring awareness is freaking phenomenal. He's great on the mic. He has the other two guys with him. They make a great faction. I think it's only a matter of time before the faction gets tag team gold, and they have all the gold on Monday Night Raw. I mean, but like I'm a fan. I didn't really like him in the beginning, but the more I've watched him, the more he's actually grown on me.
Yeah, I was a big fan of him when he was in NXT.
So
and then and then with Imperium, when they were formed in NXT.
Yeah, because a lot of people want to talk about, but he's closing in on almost a year with his Intercontinental Championship himself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I think a lot of people get upset is because some of your top name belts are being held by the same people for too long, but
Yeah.
you're making them powerhouses. So
A lot of people didn't like when they changed his gimmick, but it's working. So
yeah, that's true. Just
I mean, he
stopping in.
was Walter when he was in NXT.
Yes, I think I remember people talking about that. So
Yeah.
and we're just popping in and say, "Hey, you guys, we got a goodie shout out for the night." Hey, you guys.
Nice.
That might be our new thing. We might have to look into that.
Yeah.
How Darth does the wise up. We have to have people come in and say, "Hey, you guys," or if we're
Nice.
gonna "Hey, yeah, ladies," like something like that.
Yep.
But thanks for stopping in, Amber. It's nice to see you. I actually saw Amber yesterday at the event I was at, so it was nice to see her in person too. I mean, a lot of people approached me yesterday, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
So I mean, I got more love than a certain somebody, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it your thing. Oh, sounds it. There you go. She's gonna make it our thing. So that's our new thing, Ron. Hey, you guys.
Okay. There you go.
I'll have to get a Superman shirt and everything now. All right. The next one we had Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio, which I thought was a dumb match that they were trying to do.
Yeah, here's the thing. As much as everybody hates it, Dom is actually one of the top heels in the company right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's got the amount of heat that he gets is amazing. And I mean, and they're about to break up the Judgment Day. I mean, this Priest thing pretty much signed the death warrant for the Judgment Day.
Yep.
So now they're all going to go their own way. And I could see Dom's got a title match at SummerSlam, I think.
Versus who?
Versus Rollins.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I don't know, but it's happening. It's a good possibility it's happening. You put it that way.
Okay, so now that changes my whole theory. Now I might have to rethink what I was just thinking about.
Because they're still trying to stretch Cody out.
Yes.
And apparently there's going to be one more Cody and Brock match.
Yes.
Because it's 1-1.
Yep.
Now, whether that's SummerSlam or whether that's WrestleMania remains to be seen.
I think they're building it for SummerSlam. I'm surprised Lesnar didn't show up during this match too.
Yeah, and there was a good amount of people who thought that Lesnar was going to show up during that match, and then he didn't. But I think they're saving him for SummerSlam and for WrestleMania.
Unless he showed up tonight on Raw, who knows?
Yeah, it could be.
There was reports he was over in London for the event, so.
Yeah.
But you know how WWE is now. They say someone's going to show up on this thing, but then they don't. They save
and
it
then
for another
and then
time.
John Cena shows up.
Yep, that's the next thing on the list.
Yeah.
After delivering a message and teasing a London WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be surprised.
Could you imagine if they do it at Wembley? They can get 100,000 people in Wembley.
Oh, easily.
More, probably, for wrestling.
The only thing, the only problem I would see with that is the time difference.
No, they've always made it work.
Yeah, but like how WrestleMania Sunday starts around 3 o'clock over here, you're gonna stretch that now till about 10 o'clock in the morning. It'd be like an all day thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they could pull it off. Don't get me wrong; it would be awesome to see it in a venue like Wembley Stadium.
Yeah,
it'd be one of its kind for sure.
Oh yeah, it would be the biggest attendance ever. Because the London fans are the the pops that they were given and the energy of that crowd was just off the charts.
Yeah, we've
I mean,
always
you
done.
would you would have
Go ahead.
thought you were in Philly.
Yeah, well, I mean, most of the international events they do, even in Saudi Arabia, they get a huge pop.
Yeah, but not like this pop they were getting in London.
I have to go back and watch.
Oh man, when LA Knight started up that ladder, it blew the roof off the place.
Damn.
So they know they're smart marks.
Yeah.
So
That,
to use an industry term.
well, that's where you put like an asterisk in like 6 or 7 of them. Like, okay, we need to do this.
Yeah,
Take notes,
yeah.
Triple H and Vince. Like, do you see who the fans want right now? Do something with it. Don't bury them.
Well, it looks like they're looking at LA Knight for one of the secondary titles. I don't know that he'll ever get a shot at the big one at
No,
40, over 40 years old.
no, I'd give him a shot at like the U.S. title or something like
That's
that.
more than likely it's going to be either the IC or the US title. And another thing, one person who was not present in London, well, who didn't have a spot in the night at Money in the Bank was Sheamus.
Really?
Sheamus did not have a match, and he was not on the card.
That is disrespectful.
I think it is.
And Drew McIntyre didn't come back neither, did he?
Yeah, he's back.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's back.
But yeah, leave Sheamus off. That's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since they were pushing with the whole Logan Paul thing, possibly setting up a
That's got to be the
feud.
first premium event that he's missed in a while,
Yeah.
and he's not hurt.
I, I'm just baffled. I mean, that's disrespectful beyond belief.
Yep.
Like, you telling me he couldn't replace any of these guys in this men's ladder match?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he should have been in there instead of Butch
yeah.
or Escobar. But I mean, I know why Escobar's in the match and Nakamura's in the match. I mean, you're doing a diversity thing. That's fine, but you could have left Butch out of there and put Sheamus in,
True.
or you could have put McIntyre in there.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going to do is like take somebody out and enter McIntyre as like one of the surprise ones, like we've
Yeah.
seen before, where they take somebody out within like getting attacked backstage, and then they bring
Yeah.
back that bigger name star.
Yep.
That's where like you could have took out like an Escobar or somebody.
Yeah. And honestly, that's what I thought when I saw Butch in the match. I thought that was what they were up to. But then I remembered Pete Dunne was actually Pete Dunne, that was his former name before he became Butch. Pete Dunne is actually a pretty good ladder match specialist.
Yeah,
So
that's why like people like I love Shinsuke. I think he's a great innovator, but a ladder match for Shinsuke, I was kind of iffy about it.
they needed a couple of guys who were smaller and lighter because you didn't have the big guys that you had in the match weren't necessarily guys that could pull off some of these high flyer spots.
Oh.
And you don't want them you don't want Logan Paul trying to toss around Damian Priest, for example.
True.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was mainly size reason is why Butch and Nakamura were both in the match.
Gotcha.
Because
Yeah.
they're smaller, lighter guys.
Yeah, well, Ricochet and Logan Paul, if they ever do a one-on-one
Yeah.
ladder match, that's gonna be a must-see match.
Oh, yeah. Ricochet doesn't get enough props. I mean, Ricochet's been a guy who's been buried more than once.
Yeah.
But all he does is goes out there and knocks it home every time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When he's called upon, every single match he's ready.
Yep. I mean, that series of matches he did with Mustafa Ali were some great matches.
Oh yeah.
And they just worked so well together.
True.
Yep.
And then your next one, you have the women's Money in match. Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bailey, Io Sky, and Trish.
Yeah, I don't. I.
Interesting to say the least, especially how I heard this one finished.
Yeah, I just don't see it. I've never been in the EO Sky fan club. I mean, decent, yeah, no, but
Yeah.
eh, it
Well,
just it baffled me.
like I had said, I figured Lynch, Zoe Stark, and Trish would eliminate the three of them.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Zelina. So you figure you take those three out, then you leave Vega, Bailey, and Io Sky.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been teasing for a while now, breaking up Damage Control.
Right.
So then to see how this one finished, with Bailey and Becky Lynch being handcuffed to each other, and the Io
Mm-hmm.
Sky winning, makes me think that now that group's going a different way.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to set it up that Io Sky wins the championship, but then gives it to Bailey, and then the bands form back together, and
Mm-hmm.
Bailey's now manager slash champion. But
Or they end up putting Bailey in matches with EO Sky. I don't know that Bailey's medically cleared yet.
that's the biggest thing I've said for the last couple of weeks watching her. It
Yeah.
still looks like she favors that knee so bad.
Yeah, she does because she's only allowed to do limited things right now.
Mm. That's the only reason I would see that they maybe had Io Sky win this. But
Maybe.
if you're going to do that, then you might as well see if Zelina Vega could have a run. But then you set up the whole LWO because she's part of Ray's group now
Yeah.
versus Rhea Ripley
Yeah.
or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's multiple ways you could have
They're
done
gonna
it.
have to find something to do with Rhea because uh, if they're gonna break up Judgment Day, do they leave Rhea with Dom?
You might, and
I
have
mean,
them two start doing things.
she's such an important part of his gimmick that I don't think he can split them right now.
No,
Not
you
with
can't.
Dom getting the kind of momentum that he's getting. I don't think that you can split them.
Absolutely not. I mean, sure, if you split up Damien and Finn and the whole group, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you got to keep Dom and Rhea together. You got to figure some way to
Oh,
work them too.
there was a botch. There was an announcer's botch
Uh oh.
in the Money in the Bank match. In the women's match, they introduced and representing the Judgment Day, Bailey.
Oh, what? No. No.
Yes.
I got to see if I can find it. Hold on. I got Bailey into Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Um, is it? Oh, there's no sound. Nope, can't use that one. I'm trying to see if I can find a video of this. That
Yeah.
sounds kind of funny. Debut. I'll have to see if I can find that. If I can, I'll send it to you. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a clip of it.
Oh, I found it. I found it. Hold on. I'm going to restart it.
Okay.
Here you go. Wow, that's bad. She's gonna get fired. That's a no. You don't do that.
Yep.
That's Samantha Irving too. She's usually really good with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's funny.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny.
So after the women's match, it looks like you have Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor.
which they said was a pretty good match.
I got a B+ on this, so.
Yeah. But those two guys are going to give you a good match.
Oh yeah, they know each other so well. They
Yeah.
came up together. They put on a hell of a
Mm-hmm.
match the one year at SummerSlam when Battle came out as a demon. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
Nope. And Seth is very deserving of the spot he holds right now.
Oh, hands down. I mean,
Yeah.
he's another one that you don't really like at certain points, but then he comes back and grows on you again.
Yep.
And like with this one, that's why I was curious to see that Priest did win the men's Money in the Bank and didn't try to cash in on this.
Yeah.
Like screw Finn out of it, win the belt from Rollins, and then possibly set up now a triple threat. You have Rollins, Baylor, and Damian Priest,
Yeah.
which could be a hell of a match, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
Maybe that's something they're going towards in the future. Who
Yeah,
knows?
you never know.
But that, like when you say break up the Judgment Day, now you have the pieces in line to do something like that. Because now you have Priest with the briefcase and Finn trying to get the championship. So now
Right.
you create that in-house hostility.
Right. For as familiar as they are with each other, to pit them against each other makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm curious to see how that goes down the line.
Yeah.
Because I think Rollins holds on to this belt for a little bit longer.
Yep.
Because unless they have Cody go after Rollins for some reason, but
I
I still think it's going to be Cody Roman for some reason.
I got a feeling it's going to be Cody and Seth at WrestleMania.
That would be very interesting. They have put on some great matches before.
Yep.
I think it would be another phenomenal match to do something like that. Those two with each other at WrestleMania. A good outdoor venue. Can't say it would blow the roof off the place, but it
Mm-hmm.
would be a high energy back and forth type of match.
Right.
Which people,
Worthy of a WrestleMania type main
oh yeah,
event.
absolutely. So we'll see how that plays out. But the question is, does Rollins hold on to the belt that long?
Yeah, that's true. He's got to get past SummerSlam first.
Because Rollins is the one that wants to bring back what Cena used to do with the U.S. Championship back in the day, and that's an open challenge. That he's defending this belt week after week after week, which is, hey, Seth, more power to you. I love the gimmick, I love the idea. But what one of these times are they going to let someone take them up on this thing and say, okay, we're going to screw Rollins out of this and put the belt on him?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be very interesting to see.
It will.
So I think there's more to the story. Either if they keep it Seth and Finn for a while, add Damian Priest to the mix, who knows? You might see a triple threat match at SummerSlam with the three of them.
It's possible.
And then the main event of the evening, you have Roman and Sikoa versus the Usos.
Yep.
This match I heard got personal really quick.
Yeah, it didn't take long. And Roman gets pinned for the first time in 3 years.
Yeah. By a low blow, mind you, but then
Yeah.
they do more to it instead of just ending it like that, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. But the story continues. Every time you think that it's going to be the end, it's not the end. This is one of the most popular feuds in WWE history.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the storyline has just been so well written and so well executed that and you got to give a lot of those props to Heyman, because Heyman has a big hand in this.
Uh-huh.
I think Heyman is writing most of it.
Hey, if he is, bravo, Paul Heyman.
I'm pretty sure that he's the one that's pulling the strings, and it has a lot of Heyman elements to it. So I can definitely understand that he has to be a big part of the story.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I got out of this is that Roman and Solo are sticking together because now they're saying that the report says it's going to be Roman versus Jay at SummerSlam
Right.
for the championship. Now,
Right.
how interesting would it? I
But
don't think it's
but
happening.
what if Solo is in Roman's corner and Jimmy's in Jay's corner, and then Solo hits Roman by accident, and he gets pinned again, and then
Jay wins
he
the
goes
title.
after Solo, and then it ends up being Solo and Roman heading into WrestleMania.
For the belt or no belt?
No belt for Solo right now.
No, I'm saying, but if they do Jay versus Roman at SummerSlam, and you're saying
Right.
Solo hits Roman, does it result in a DQ that Roman keeps the belt? Or do they maybe surprise everybody and put the belt on one of the Usos?
I can't imagine that.
Because they said Jay got a pretty big pop after this match.
Yeah, but what if Solo hits Roman and then Priest cashes in?
That changes everything then.
And then you put Priest have the title briefly.
Yeah.
And then you put Priest and Cody in a match.
I don't see that being a big draw.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
I
don't.
mean, it's gonna take a little bit to convince me the Priest is a main event guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But somebody believes in him to give him the briefcase. Over
Yeah,
LA Knight, who's so over with the crowd.
that is very true. I will agree with you on that one. That's for sure. I'm hearing rumbles of thunder outside.
Yep, same.
See how bad this one really is. I mean, let's see. Oh yeah, we're in the thick of one right now, huh? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, another 10 minutes. We're gonna be in a good downpour. Hope everyone stays
Yeah.
safe.
Hope my internet stays alive.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it for the Money in the Bank results.
Yeah. And overall, it was a good show.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these grades. You had an A, B plus, A minus, B, B minus, B plus. So yeah, it sounds like a B rated show. I mean, in their
Yeah.
terms, that's pretty good.
Yep.
So I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Let's see if I can. No, Phillies aren't playing tonight, right? No, they're on the road.
No, they're off tonight. They're at Tampa tomorrow.
I was gonna pull up a score update, but I forgot to off.
Yeah. Tampa for 3, and then the Marlins for 3, and then the All-Star break.
Yep, and then they come home,
Yep.
which I might be at the game sometime in. Well, I'll be at a game in August, and now we're playing a game in September as well. Me and some friends, so that should be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been over to a baseball game. I about 3 years.
Let me
And
know when you're planning. I might jump in with you.
all right. I know the one. I know the one for sure is August 8th.
Yeah.
And the other one might be sometime in September, the last homestand versus the Braves.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we're playing something, that's for sure.
Okay.
I did get my request of December 3rd approved, so we can
Okay.
definitely do the live show from the Oz.
Yep.
More details on that one coming. That's gonna be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Who wants to go to a Phillies game next week? I'm on vacation. There you go. Gary's on vacation next week.
Nice.
If I can get out what I have to do next week, Gary, I'll let you know. My 2 days off, I think, are already claimed and called for next week. But I'll keep that in mind, though. That might be something to do. We always said we want to do a live show from the Phillies game, too.
Yeah. Well, next week could be the All-Star break, won't it?
Yeah, but I think they're home Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week. Let's see.
Well, they got 3. They got 3 in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Tampa, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Miami, Miami, and then the All-Star break
Yep. And
is
then
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They don't play again on Thursday, probably.
that is true. Let's see. Schedule. Why is this making me do all of this? I don't care about this. Let's see. Schedule. So yes, yeah, the three versus Tampa Bay, Miami. Then the following weekend they have a 4-game set versus the Padres.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a tough one to get to.
Yeah.
Because Friday night is the second fireworks show.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday is the 105, 705 doubleheader.
Right. Yeah. Day night doubleheader Saturday. That's right.
And then
That's the
Sunday,
15th. Yeah.
and
And
then
then Sunday
Sunday
afternoon.
is a giveaway, a PECO, Penco, sorry, JT Realmuto
Pico
Catcher's Bank
power play.
giveaway.
Nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like a little children's bank.
And
But
the
it's just that
Flyers are on the Pico power play.
I don't know why I had such a hard time saying that. I feel dumb. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Play that one by you.
Yep.
But I don't know if you have anything else to add for this evening, or are we good?
How about the Flyers drafting Mishkov?
That as a surprise, I mean, it's a good pick, but the question is, how soon can you get him over here?
There was a report that came out today that they're saying that Mishkov kind of hoodwinked the NHL. He had publicly stated on many occasions, both publicly and privately, that he wanted to play for the Flyers. And the belief is that he gave a timeline that looked like it could be 5 years. And now they're saying that he could be here for the 24 season.
Wow.
And that he did that to make sure that the Flyers would select him at 7.
Interesting.
Because everybody had him going with Ovechkin to Washington.
Yes. I mean, that was the consensus I heard as well.
Yep.
And then later in the first round, they get a defenseman, Oliver Bank, who, that last name, if you don't know who that is, Oliver Bank is the son of former NHL defenseman Radek Bank, who played most of his career up in Ottawa.
Yep.
And then they made a surprising trade with the Chicago Blackhawks to draft a goalie. The best North American goalie prospect.
Yeah.
And then they drafted a goalie from Russia. I mean...
Yeah. By Carter Hart.
Yeah, pretty much. You're going to make trades like that.
They got a lot of goalies. There's a lot of goalies in the pipeline.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a really rough year to be a Flyers fan. I'm not going to lie. But, I mean, if you can get Matchkoff over here soon, he is what they call a perennial game changer, apparently. So he can change the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just hope someone like that goes overseas, develops, comes back ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, he should be ready to plug and play by the time he gets here.
You would hope. Because if you're looking at like a 1-2 year window, that's one thing, but then you're looking longer than that, that's when it gets scary, because I think the kids are, 18 now, right?
Yeah, I think so. 18.
So if you have to wait the 4 or 5 years, you're going to have them come over at, 23?
Yeah, but it's not going to be 5 years, though.
No, I don't think so.
Literally, I just got done watching the interview right shortly before we started.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the theme of the interview is that he pulled a fast one to make sure that he got on the Flyers.
Hey, more power to the kid. I mean, if that's your ambition, sign me up. I'm all for it.
Yep.
I just know the Flyers have that history of drafting people like this, and then they wait forever and they never show up.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that a
Well,
lot in
remember all during Snyder's tenure, we shied away from those European players, especially the Russians,
yeah.
uh, because of the experience back in the day. Snyder would not sign Russian players.
Nope, you're absolutely right.
We never signed a Russian player until after he was out of the picture.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
He held a grudge.
I don't know why, but
Well, because of those exhibition games and that they played against the Russians, and there was a lot of bad blood, and there was almost an international incident about it.
true. I
I
mean,
mean, the
and,
Flyers walked off the ice.
yeah, I remember. That game's also really fun to go back and watch highlights of.
Yeah.
Then they came back on the ice and wound up kicking the shit out of them,
Yep.
which was great.
Then it didn't look like an international exhibition anymore. It just looked like a Flyers ass kicking.
Yeah, imagine being at that game. That must have been fun.
Oh, that had to be great.
I can't say I was because it was before my time, but
Yeah. That was back in the
uh,
70s.
yeah, I'd be a fun one to talk about one night to bring back some old memories.
Yeah.
See if I can find some old clips of it. Because I forget who it was, but I think it might have been Gary Dornhofer or Bill Barber just laid out one of the Russians, and they're like, "All right, game on." It
Dornhofer.
was Dornhofer.
Yep.
Like,
He had one, and it was either Moose DuPont or Bob Kelly laid somebody out really bad in that game too.
let's see, I just pulled it up.
I think it was
Thank
Bob
you.
Kelly.
Ed Van Imp,
Ed Van Imp, yeah.
Flyers defenseman Ed Van Imp, who had just finished serving a penalty for hooking, left the box and immediately placed a hard hit that knocked out CSK starter Vladimir Kalmov. Kalmov lay up prone on the ice for a minute.
Yeah, it was Ed Van Imp, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's the one I was thinking of, the one right out of the box.
yeah. When Lloyd Gilmer, the referee, refused to call a penalty, maintaining that Van Imp's check was clean, the Red Army coach protested by pulling his team from the ice.
Yep.
This momentarily led to commentator Bob Cole saying they're going home repeatedly. Snyder got into a shouting match with the president of the Soviet Hockey Federation, threatening to not pay for the series if they did not return to the ice. So let's see if I can find this video. If I can find a video of this would be awesome.
Yeah. It was a nasty hit. It was. They may have ruled it clean, but it was not clean in any way, shape, or form. Because the guy never saw it coming.
That's the best kind of hit.
Yep.
Just double checking. Okay, I think I might have found something. I have to fast forward some of it, but I think I found it. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Present screen. But I'll fast forward to the good part. Hold on.
Okay.
That's it. Share screen. I might have to. Yeah, something right there. That was a hit, and that's weak. Alright, here it is. Yep, there you go. Yep. I'll play it from right here. That wasn't even a dirty hit. Why are you complaining about that?
Because he came straight out of the box and right at him.
Oh, give me a break. If they're calling that a dirty hit, then they don't know what hockey is.
Yeah.
I'm
They
sorry.
must not have watched many Flyers games.
No.
That was a love tap compared to that Don Selesky or Dave Schultz,
Yeah. Well, not even
hit him.
that. Fast forward 10 years and add Ron
Yeah.
Hextall in the mix. You want to see a hit?
Yeah.
Fucking
Or Donald Brashear.
yeah, Todd Fedoruk. But I mean,
Dave the Hammer Schultz.
yeah.
Oh, what was the guy on the Phantoms? Oh, Frank the Animal.
Yep. Thank you, Animal Bolas.
Bialois.
So, sorry. I think his kid
Nah,
plays now.
yeah.
I forget who his kid is, but I think
Frank the Animal was literally an animal. And even Dave Brown. Dave Brown was a big hitter, a tough guy.
true. Gary says the crazy animal ass from the Jersey Devils. I mean, Devils always had some dirty players too.
Yeah.
Scott Stevens.
I mean, even their goalie was crazy. Favell
True.
played for the Devils for a long time.
There you go. But no, I think that's pretty much all I got for this evening. After talking about that for a little bit,
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's a good stopping point
Scott
that we're about to
Stevens.
get. Yep, Scott. That's his name, Scott Stevens. Yep, laid out Eric Lindros back in the day.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because we got.
Yeah, that's all I had. Yeah.
Looks like it's gonna thunderstorm the rest of the night. Great.
Yep.
But appreciate everybody hanging out. Any comment about the Union? I haven't followed the Union. I know they lost to Atlanta this week 2-0, so that's all I know about the Union. I haven't really been following them this year like I should, but I will bring that up. I will do some digging, Gary. I will have that for you next week. I will do some homework on the Philadelphia Union for the week. And then at the end of the month, we have Eagles training camp starting, so football season's almost here.
Yeah, man.
But we should go to a Union game. I mean, maybe. I mean, see how much tickets cost. I'm always up for a sporting event, that's for sure. So we'll talk about it.
That's a good time. Just the crowd is really into it.
Oh yeah, I've been to a couple Union games. They're fun.
Yep.
But this week's gonna be a little bit different. We're not gonna do a show tomorrow night in observation of the 4th of July holiday. Ron will be back for Wednesday trivia this week, right?
Yes, sir.
And then we have open mic night Thursday night. So that's always a fun show just to jump in. You never know what's going to happen on Thursday night. So come in, be part of the conversation, and have some fun. And then Friday night movie night this week, we are playing Create a Scene. I'm going to make a slideshow with scenes of different movies, and we're going to present them on the screen, and people in the chat are going to make a scene based off that picture. It should be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be a riot. I don't know about you.
That sounds. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be funny.
So tune in for that one Friday night. But other than that, Ron, if you want to say your goodbyes, and then we'll hop on out of here.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody for popping in tonight. We appreciate you. Make sure that you keep on spreading the word, keep on sharing the page, sharing the shows on Facebook. Like and follows are greatly appreciated on all formats. We're really starting to creep up a little bit on YouTube, making some good progress on Facebook. I sent out a bunch more invites today. So hopefully we can inch closer and closer to that big number by the end of August to 450 so that we
Yep.
can have that giveaway spin.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, I appreciate your interaction in the chat as always. We're here for you. We pretty much take the show wherever it goes, and that's tailored to what you guys want to talk about. So we'll have to do our union homework this week, though, for Gary, for sure.
Definitely.
Other than that, guys, next time, we'll be here Wednesday night for trivia. And the rest of the week here on the Basement Show. We appreciate you and thank you for coming in.
Good night.
Good night.